Most people talk about mindset as if it's a set of affirmations or a morning routine. But real mindset folk shows up when life removes the safety net and you're thrown out of your comfort zone. When no one is coming to save you. When pain could harden you or kind of outgrew you as well. Today's conversation is exactly about the kind of mindset that is built and not borrowed. The kind shaped by responsibility, faith, and hard choices. Welcome to Healthy Mind, Healthy Life, the podcast where we explore what it actually takes to live with emotional clarity, resilience, and intention. I'm Sayan, and my guest today is Branden LaNette, host of Listen Bitch podcast, and a voice known for direct, no fluff conversations about emotional intelligence, boundaries, personal responsibility, and faith applied to real life. Um, Today, we're going to be talking about mindset in general, not as motivation, but as a lived discipline and what shapes it, what distorts it, all of that, the nuances that we would generally talk about. So, Branden, it's a pleasure to have you on the show today, and I'm hoping we could, have a very uh, unhinged conversation about mindset in general.
Unhinged fits me. That's a great description because that's me 90% of the time. Sayan, thank you so much for having me. I'm super honored, and I hope I, can add and contribute to your audience and help them move the needle to their potential a little bit more today. So thank you so much for having me on.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to have you on the show as well, Branden. And before, we talk about mindset as a tool, which we would come to, the latter part of it. I'm curious that when you look back at your early life, what did mindset actually mean to you back then before you even had the means to describe it?
So this is the thing for me, and I guess it aligns with kind of my origin story in the beginning. I think one of the most monumental things in my life, my mom signed her rights off on me at 12. I emancipated as a ward of the state on my own at 15. So
Okay.
that shaped the way I view responsibility. And I had to skip the entire luxury of childhood entitlement. I went straight into consequence, you know?
Mm.
And I realized like there's no victim badge, there's no like someone else is going to fix it. There's no committee meeting about how unfair life is. When you are on your own that young, you either learn responsibility or you die by the lack of it. I could take that massive responsibility or I could be a victim. So that's the
Right.
difference between staying broken and deciding who you're going to be. Um so yeah, I skipped a lot of the main steps and it came through over here
Oh,
with so
15, you said, right?
yeah.
That's, I mean, to have that kind of a maturity, maybe not right away, but building since then, I think um, you're already ahead of what, say, 99% of the people,
Yeah.
right? If I have to frame it that way. And, because I think a lot of people treat mindset like positivity or self talk. But from your experience, Brandon, if you could share, what do you think people misunderstand most about that aspect, about what mindset really is?
I mean, you're spot on with that because everybody thinks it's that positive thinking and there's a whole toxic culture that's just pressing like the positive thinking, just think it out. Mindset's not motivation. It's not manifestation, it's how you respond to reality. That's the mindset. And reality is annoying. Reality is sobering. Reality exposes the gaps. And most people mindset like they look away or they sugarcoat, they blame things, they scroll to numb. Like how I know that this scrolling culture has just it's insane. And you make someone else the reason why your life is hard,
Right.
you know?
That's pathetic.
It's rough. And I'm sad for society today because it was a deliberate, like, let's keep them distracted. I feel like it was just this deliberate thing. And I mean, every day that you're scrolling, you guys are literally killing your brain cells. And our brains are the most incredible thing that we have, right? Like neuroplasticity is real. Your brain can form new connections every day. Like it is just so much untapped potential here. But every day you're scrolling because you don't wanna feel the things, you're missing out on everything. We came here for a human experience. a human experience. That means we feel it, the love, the joy, the pain, and that's it. Mindset is like you have to wrestle with the truth. You make it make sense and then you take action, no matter what that looks like. It's spiritual, it's emotional, it is practical, and it took me a long time to get here. It took me a very long time to get here because I was stuck in trauma. I was that 15-year-old girl who had to be scrappy and reactive. The world wasn't gonna treat me like an adult. I didn't have the emotional maturity to be an adult, and here I am, like, didn't have anyone to guide me or to help me or to say, "Brandon, this is how this is done." I had nothing, nothing to guide me and show me. So, I've been making it up as I go, and it's been messy. It's been so messy, you guys. But I knew, keep searching for the truth, keep moving forward. It all becomes practical. You know? Mindset sits at the intersection of obedience and responsibility and your self-expression.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's as practical as it can get. I mean, I love the fact that you mentioned that mindset is, uh, I mean, one of the most important aspect of having, uh, I would use the word, a good mindset instead of a positive mindset because that's really relative. I don't want to, again, but good is again relative, in that case. But what I meant by that is it's so important to not play the victim card. So I'll share you an example, Brandon, that I remember. So when I landed my first job, right, people asked me that, is this it? I mean, would you not take second thought perhaps of, would you wish that you've had gotten a better job? And dude, I'm sitting like I'm thinking about, it could have gone much worse than that. So it's about being grateful,
Yeah.
having that gratitude for wherever you are in your life. And like you said, I love that, not playing the victim card, because I think that's the base of having that firm mindset that we are talking about today, right? So you've talked about how unresolved pain doesn't excuse stagnation. It explains it. And I want to stay with that for a moment. Like, how does unprocessed pain quietly shape people's mindset without them realizing it even? And I know that social media has got a huge role in this, but what's your view on that?
Um, for people to be stuck in their pain, I mean, a lot of people, I feel like the majority of people are just replaying it in their head, and what you guys don't understand is that every time you play something in your brain, your body doesn't know if it's really happening right now or like, it just doesn't get time, right? It doesn't get time. So, you replay the story over and over, and it starts to become your identity. So now you're not even realizing that this trauma has hijacked, like, your nervous system, and it creates your default mode network. So now your brain is just like, you can go offline, and you're gonna go through life, and, everything is crap. You look around, and I watch this in so many people where no matter what you say, they're going to continue to argue for their discomfort. And so if you find yourself,
That's
if you're
crazy.
listening and you're like, "Man, I'm just gonna," it's if it's not one thing, it's another. It doesn't matter what job you're at because 'cause you're gonna be miserable wherever you go because wherever you go, there you are. And it just manifests into this it literally becomes your identity and you don't know anything else, and it's everybody else's fault. You guys, the world does not owe you anything. No one owes you anything. You get to come here and make the best out of it, and I think, man, if we're gonna come here for the human experience, like, yeah, I go through things that hurt. I'm a mom of 6 kids and they're growing and I mean, motherhood is like getting stabbed and dying 1,000 deaths, like, every day, but, like, it's the greatest joy at the same time. So I can focus on the hard parts and be sad and miserable, and then my kids aren't gonna wanna be around me, or I could be like, "Wow, I get to be the mom in this experience," and that's it. Like, life is there's an arena and you're getting your ass kicked. So you can either make the best out of it and say, "All right, if we're gonna fight, we're gonna have fun with it." Because what is life if you just wake up and you hate everything around you and it's everyone's fault because someone hurt your feelings, because someone hurt you? Do you think anybody's ever cared about my hurt? Nobody cares. So why am I going to give the power of my pain to other people? I stopped telling the story. I stopped telling the story of like, poor me. I couldn't even tell the story of my mom signing her rights off. She did it right in front of me, in front of the judge. And I would cry every single time, like it was really happening. My brain thought it was really happening. So I'm just this 15-year-old girl over and over because I stayed trapped in that pain. I had to forgive her. I don't have to forget, but it's like, man, here I am. How can I make the best of this? Everything I've done is because of what she did, and I'm so grateful. I have turned that all around to where I thank God for her, and I hope she finds peace and happiness because I am so grateful. Everything that's hurt me, I can always come out and find gratitude in that because that's I wired myself to be like that. Otherwise, what is the point of the human experience?
Absolutely.
What is the point?
Yeah, I mean, it all starts with not wanting to feel miserable in the first place, right? Like you said. And I think, there's this profound realization with time. Now, I'm not saying uh, someone as a 20-year-old might realize it. Well, it's again subjective. It's again dependent on the kind of experience that that person might has. But there's this profound realization, in my opinion, that you are not the center of the universe. The world doesn't revolve around you.
Yeah.
And and the moment you realize that, right, the world around you starts behaving differently. It's like suddenly you have so much privacy in your life because nobody's watching you, right? You remember that embarrassment that you had 5 years ago?
Yeah.
But it's just you who remembers that. Nobody else remembers that and is thinking about you, right? And I think that's profound because the moment you realize it, um, your whole body language and the way you think about life in general changes.
Yeah.
Uh, you know, so I just wanted to share that because that's something that I realized over a course of my personal journey.
From experience.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
someone listening who recognizes their past is influencing their present choice, Brandon. But they don't want to stay stuck there. Obviously, and say suppose they are trying their best, but they're still stuck in a vicious cycle. Where do you suggest they start with themselves? Because I love how practical this whole conversation has been so far. So I'm looking for some insights from you.
No, and this is the great paradox, right? Like you realize that no one cares about you. No one's going to live your life for you. The people that are judging you have done nothing else with their life. So you're in this space, but this is the thing that has changed everything for me. I've spent the last 2 years falling in love with Jesus and I read the Bible. And to me, like that grounded me, that brought me to this focus of like the paradox is no one in the world cares about you but God literally created all of this just for you. Like just for me. That's it. So this is my world. And so am I going to be the main character or am I just going to be a side character and then one day I'm going to have to face God and he's going to be like all this potential I gave you. Everything that you could have turned into power, into, helping other people. You kept it to yourself, you cried about it, you scrolled on Netflix, you binge Netflix, you scrolled on TikTok. Never once did you have a conversation with people. Never once did you turn around and say, "Hey, I'm hurting and this is how I'm going to fix it." Like you just never do that. And I've realized like our brain, it all comes back to our brains. I feel like. So you have taught your brain like that discomfort is your comfort. Some people are so safe and set that making a move is scarier than living in their current pain. And that change
Like not
great.
trying to get out of their comfort zone, right?
Yes.
But again, there's a interesting thing that I read about it. So uh, imagine it's literally cold out there, right? You're within your sheets. I mean, what's one thing? Let me ask you. Imagine that it's super cold out there, and you're tired as anything, right? You're
Yeah.
under your sheets. What's the last thing that comes to your mind that you would do? Anything.
If it's really cold.
If it's really cold, you're tired, you're under the sheets, you want to sleep, what should be the last thing that should come to your mind? I mean, if I could ask you.
The last thing that would come to my mind if I'm freezing. and I'm under the sheets and I'm going to I literally would just go to sleep. Like, thanking God
Exactly,
that
right? But
I'm
but here's the thing.
going to
Yeah,
sleep.
here's the thing. Exactly. And here's the thing. I read a book by David Goggins, which
No,
mentioned, yeah, which mentioned that the trick to, I mean, the whole um essence of tricking your mind to do the hardest thing is literally doing the hardest thing when you don't feel like it, right? And that's how you push yourself out of the comfort zone, right? And
right.
that thing just clicked when you talked about people in general don't want to get out of the comfort zone. And I think the trick here is to just trick your own mind to do the hardest thing literally when you don't feel like it.
I mean, that's literally what I work with people every day on teaching them how to hack their brain system, how to make your brain work
Mm.
for you. Because listen, it's not your fault. Like, on some level, it is not your fault. Your brain has all this influence and all this stuff, but you have been so disconnected from responsibility that you're not owning it. But the minute you start to own that, your brain's gonna freak out, right? Like, this is so scary, this is uncomfortable, it just doesn't know. And so being able to just hack that process mentally to just do that one thing. But that's my mindset has grown so much where I'm like, okay, what's the scary thing I could do today? Like, my goal, I wake up and I'm like, ooh, what's the scary thing I could do? Like, that's the next right step for me, you know? And
Yeah,
what is the next scary
right.
thing? You just do it. You wake up in the morning, and that's part of my life. You wake up in the morning, what is the hardest thing on my agenda today? And for me, to be honest, it's working out, right? Like, that's that for me, that is like, if I don't get it done, if I don't get it out of the way, it doesn't get done. So that's the hardest thing. That's my first thing in the morning. Boom. Knock it out of the way. My day is wide open. Like, you just do the hardest thing. And you guys, like, I understand pain is real, right? And trauma is real. But like, you guys have turned this into a personality trait, and that's deadly. So there's no like, just get over it. You have to go through it. You have to go through it, you know? Stop outsourcing your life to the whole world. Everyone has an opinion and you're afraid of what people are going to think. It's for what? They're not thinking about, do the hard stuff. Take the big step.
Wow, that balance is powerful. And I mean, I totally resonate with whatever you have said so far. I feel like there's just so much similarity in terms of how we think about life in general. And so I really enjoyed having this conversation with you, Brandon. And I'm sure those who are listening to this are also nodding their heads along with us. So thanks so much for bringing this kind of almost unscripted conversation out of thin air. I feel like so for the listeners who feel stuck between who they have been and who they know they need to become,
Yeah.
that blurry line. What's one question literally you think they should honestly ask themselves today?
What's the scariest thing I can do today? Like, I know you're not afraid of failure. You're afraid of responsibility. So it's that mindset of, like, if you change and your life still doesn't work, like, it's on you now. Staying stuck is so comfortable because you can blame the circumstance, you can blame your parents, you can blame God, you can blame the algorithm, whatever helps you sleep at night. But, like, change is asking you for that accountability, and so radical honesty yourself today, radically honest with yourself, because no one else plays in this equation with you. Like, what is the scariest thing you can do for yourself today that would move the needle one just a little tiny bit towards your potential, towards who you came here to be? I mean, it's like everybody forgot how incredible it is to be a human, like how beautiful life is, how it's like they forgot, and it drives me
Mm.
crazy. I love you guys. I would shake you so much right now because I just want you to embrace your potential and to see the beauty that is all around you and to see how this has all been orchestrated perfectly for you to step into your potential, for you to take radical responsibility, for you to stand up and say, I get it now, and just do the things, you know?
Yeah, I love that. Uh, I love how you sort of ended this conversation with such raw honesty. And if there's anything that I'm taking away from this conversation, folks, is that if you want unfiltered change, and you know what I'm saying, the change that you have been wanting all your life, definitely you have to get out of your comfort zone. But how you do that? So you're gonna have to embrace the change, right? And not literally fight against it. So I think that was the essence in some way or other that we talked about, Brandon. And that's
Yeah.
what I'm honestly taking away from this conversation as well. So thank you again for bringing such unfiltered conversation into into what we call a script generally. And so for listeners who want to hear more of your work and connect with you, where can they find you at?
BrandenLaNette.com. Through my website, you guys can find I have a Listen Bitch podcast. And you can get my books. I have Once Upon a Time Bitches and Fuck Luck Bitches on Amazon and Audible. If you like to listen instead, they're there. Um, and yeah, sign up for my love letters. I do a lot of, just work through there too. So yeah, Sayan, I appreciate you so much for having me on. And, I do hope I got to speak to one person today who's like, I'm going to do it. Pick the hard thing.
Uh,
Do it.
I think we have done clearly we have done our job,
Yeah.
a good job rather. To everyone who's listening to this right now, and folks, with that we hit today's minute mark on this a very honest conversation. And if this conversation stirred something in you, this is a reminder that the growth that you want in your life, you're not you're not at that point where you think you deserve it, because that kind of growth that you feel you deserve requires ownership and not excuses, right? And I think healing doesn't ask you to forget your story, only to stop letting it run your life. So with that, thanks for tuning in today in onto Healthy Mind, Healthy Life. If today's episode resonated with you, I want you to take a small moment to reflect and share it with someone who needs this clarity. I'll see you again in the next one. Until next time, take care of your mind and choose your growth deliberately. Thank you.